filmmaker by trade, and I take photos of my old toys just for fun. I've worked in the film and TV industry all my life, and I spent 12 years in Broome filming around the Kimberley when I started taking pictures of a retro model car, Caravan and Pop, and a retro pop Barbie doll. Old toys of mine dusted off the shelf and finally put to loving use. I photographed them in some of the most amazing locations around the Kimberley region. This started Nan and Pop's retro perspective. On the 1st of July 2015, for various reasons, I decided enough was enough of Broome, so I stuffed all my life belongings into my car to drive across Australia and relocate to Cairns in Queensland. The night before I left, I started a website, nanavandtrek.com. I didn't really know how it was going to work, but like most things I do, I did it full of enthusiasm. I didn't have a Nan doll at the time, so Pop would have to cross-dress when necessary. I had a pashmina and a baby's sock decorated in daisies I would dress him up in to create Nan for a picture. So I left Broome to drive across one side of Australia to the other and documented the trip using Nan and Pop and their caravan adventures. I would randomly stop and take pictures of beautiful iconic vistas, or just take silly shots like Nan looking at a sign called Anal Creek. While I was driving, I created the dialogue and the words that went with Nan and Pop's pictures. I always thought of my own Nan and Pop and how they talked in spoonerisms or mixed up their sayings, and I tried to incorporate this into the stories. When I was in Cochrane in the Northern Territory, I found a vinny shop and an old Barbie doll, which I turned into Nan. So from Cochrane onwards, Pop didn't have to cross-dress. Everything about it was done pretty much on the fly and random and with little preparation. I used old school lenses and photographic techniques and enhanced some things in Photoshop, but Nan and Pop and the caravan are always shot in situ. I loved the sarcasm with a bygone era that I created with Nan and Pop, and they fast became my front seat besties. After each day of driving, I would arrive at my destination and quickly choose and load up a sequence of pictures and words to nanavandtrek.com, which told the story of the next leg of their trip. I didn't have much time to muck about. It was always late and the net often wasn't great, and after a full day of driving I was tired. Amusingly, as I travelled, there started a social media following. Every day when I stopped and uploaded the next chapter, there were suddenly more and more people following Nan and Pop's adventures from around the world. Nan and Pop and their caravan travelled for 8 days across 3 states to get to Cairns, and that's where the project took on another life. The curator of the Tropical Mardi Gras art exhibition, Gaze, asked if I would exhibit them in the Tanks exhibition in October last year. I'd only been in Cairns a few months and was being featured as an FNQ artist. The work was titled Welcome to Cairns, a display of 36 storyboard pieces of Nan and Pop's travels from Broome to Cairns, flanked with larger featured images. I was thrilled to see my works in a gallery, and for the first time, and thrilled that there was so much interest and from people of all ages. Of course, Nan and Pop's travels continued as they explored Cairns and beyond. I kind of take them everywhere where I travel, even on flights. Pop even had a stint selling real estate, using photographs of Pop gesturing around homes with funny dialogue and spoonerisms, including, for example, how the owners had lost their slacks at the casino roulette table and were forced to sell. This actually became Pop's pick. I never expected Pop to sell real estate, but I never expected anything from the project either. Nan and Pop's blog site was also a finalist in the Queensland Multimedia Awards last year. It's literally a project with a life of its own, and it's the best way I could honestly describe it. From there, a solo exhibition was held in Canopy Gallery, which was extended into 2016. And then a large display ended up in the Cairns Casino for a few months. As the works went into different exhibitions, I always added new elements. One was creating a Nan and Pop 3D series, a technique I learned from a new great friend, my 85-year-old neighbour Mona, who makes those kitsch 3D Christmas cards. Pop has taken me everywhere, even into a sex club, where I took a picture of him in a mirrored room. That was hilarious, just getting in and explaining myself. I had to do a time exposure and physically run around a vinyl bed so I was never caught in the photograph. I realised just how difficult it can be to photograph a mirrored room. I also took a picture down a sleazy corridor with Pop perched on a small garbage bin where a stranger walked towards us. I remember thinking how odd that person was, then I realised how friggin' weird I must have looked. I also started creating various images with my toy robot in various situations and locations around Cairns using the same techniques. An image of the robot fishing at Cairns Lagoon was a finalist in Ink Masters and has been in a few newspapers. It's also the PechaKucha poster. How that happened, I don't know. It's just over a year later since I started this project, and it's now the 2016 Mardi Gras Gaze exhibition at Tanks. Here you can see Nan and Pop's 3D works and the model caravan and car on display as well. Featured is a display of a series with my robot. I found him in a flea market in Thailand many moons ago. The robot is even destroying the ugly buildings of Cairns. Both Nan and Pop and the robot are projects that, as I've said before, literally have a life of its own, and I can hardly keep up with it all. But really, it is fun to play with my very much loved old toys.